Hello and welcome aboard the OCEANIS 51.1. This model is the first in the OCEANIS line's 7th generation. This year we celebrate the 30th anniversary of this line. We created this new boat leveraging all our experience. This boat was developed with three main principles. First of all, smart, for the elegant and ingeniously designed boat. Then, of course, comfort, as this is a cruising boat. And finally, fast, because we wanted to offer a proper fast cruiser. The OCEANIS line is dedicated to cruising, so we spent a lot of time designing the cockpit and platform for easy access to the sea. So here there is a very large swim platform that can be lowered and raised with an electric actuator. There is a very comfortable and solid bathing ladder. Concerning dinghy storage, instead of compromising the interior and reducing the size of the rear cabins, we opted for easy-to-use retractable davits. We designed the cockpit layout to offer you even more comfort. There are no longer areas with winches and seats close together. We moved everything to do with maneuvering the halyards, sheets, and winches to aft at the helm station, so the deck layout is all about safety. Young children can be protected under the bimini, or friends who do not necessarily know how to sail, at the front of the cockpit. Everything to do with maneuvering anything that might be a bit dangerous, like winches for example, are located in one place. It is also an ideal deck layout for people who want to sail alone or short-handed. We have the electronics on the console and all the winches right at hand, so one can control the whole boat from this position. In the middle of the cockpit, there is a very large dining table that can easily accommodate 6 to 8 people. There is a 30-liter fridge forward, several cup holders, and a compass to aft for navigation. Finally, at the front of the cockpit, there are two very comfortable sunbathing areas with an easy-to-use backrest. Storage volume is something very important on a cruising boat, so we decided to create dedicated storage for the life raft in the cockpit table. This frees up all the other storage lockers for your equipment. There are very deep lockers under the seats to both starboard and port, line storage bags on each side of the cockpit, and to aft a very large locker for storing fenders and mooring lines with access through the starboard helm seat and also through a very large central deck hatch. Getting up to the foredeck is also a very important point. There are large side decks with tow rails molded into the deck that serve as good footing. Lifelines are high and easy to grab. And finally, to facilitate the passage forward, we decided to place the lower diagonal shroud on the inside of the side deck, while keeping the cap shroud on the outside for rigging stability. This new generation of hulls is really beneficial for interior space, but also improves the deck area as well. Here we are on the foredeck. It is now possible, for example, to bring the loungers forward to sunbathe. It becomes yet another space for relaxation. The bowsprit anchor integration is beautifully done. Forward, there is a tack for the spinnaker, then one for the Code Zero, and finally, just aft, the furling Genoa. The Code Zero tack point is sufficiently forward to be able to keep the Code Zero set, even when sailing under Genoa. A little aft, we find a very deep anchor well to avoid a tangled chain. And finally, a very large sail locker. Though there is already an asymmetrical spinnaker, a Code Zero, and a staysail in the locker, there is still plenty of storage space for a dinghy, paddles, or fenders. This sail locker can also be fitted as a skipper's cabin with a 2-meter-long traverse berth, with, of course, a toilet and a sink. For the new generation of OCEANIS, Olivier Rocopo, our naval architect, has created 5 different rigging designs to meet the needs of various owners. Here we have the carbon mast with the canoe boom. It is a taller, high-performance mast that comes with the first line package that also incorporates high-end deck hardware and winches. The standard rigging includes a furling mast and a self-tacking jib. This configuration requires only one winch per helm station, so it makes sailing extremely simple. Here we are now inside the OCEANIS 51.1. It is a cruising boat, so we kept the gently sloping companionway with a handrail on each side. As you can see, the interior is very bright, with large hull portholes, but also many deck hatches, and many openings for good ventilation. This version has 3 cabins and 2 bathrooms, with an owner's cabin forward, 2 guest cabins aft, and a bathroom to starboard. There is also a version with 3 cabins and 3 bathrooms, with a private bathroom for each aft cabin. Concerning trim choices, the interior is finished in brushed oak or in a dark mahogany. We also have a wide selection of bulkhead linings and interior upholstery. This galley is ideal to use at sea. There are Corian fiddles and handrails so one can stand securely when heeled over. The galley is also very easy to use when at anchor, with large countertops accessible from both sides, so it is possible for 2 or 3 people to work at the counter at the same time. In terms of household equipment, you have all the comforts of home, with a dishwasher, microwave, washing machine, wine cellar, and several refrigerators. There is a lot of storage in the upper and lower cabinets, a cutlery drawer, and other storage spaces below. The OCEANIS 51.1 is above all a boat built for conviviality, so we opted for a very large saloon table that can easily accommodate 6 people. This table is also extensible, which allows for the use of the portside couch to sit up to 10 people around the table. It is also possible to lower the table to create a double berth or a large lounging space to watch TV, for example. The chart table faces forward and is very comfortable to use at sea, with this very comfortable armrest. But it also turns out to be a very nice place to rest at the end of the day. Here we are in the owner's cabin, an owner's cabin worthy of a 60-foot boat. The bed is 1.60 meters wide and 2.05 meters long, with walk-around access on each side. There is even a very comfortable seat to be able to untie one's shoes, for example, or put one's shoes on, or to set your clothing on at the end of the day. There are numerous cubby holes in the bedside table, a 220-volt and a USB socket as well. There are also many cupboards above, and a wardrobe with indirect lighting. There are also curtains that effectively block out all outside light. There is a large drawer under the bed with even more storage forward, for travel bags or linens, for example. There is a large mirror on the rear bulkhead, with a tray for your phone or sunglasses, and finally, shoe storage. To starboard there is the shower cabin, with a separate washroom. It's a beautiful space with a seat and also storage for your towels. On the port side, the head, is once again a very bright space, with a sink and toilet made with quality materials like the Korean countertop. Aft of the companionway there are 2 very nice cabins that are ideal for welcoming your guests. They have berths that are 1.60 meters by 2.10 meters in length, with enough ceiling height to have the headboard aft, which saves your guests from having their pillows fall on the floor. They are very luminous cabins with numerous portholes. They are also well ventilated thanks to the hatches. 220-volt and USB sockets are located at the headboard. There are many storage spaces along the hull and 2 wardrobes to the front of the cabin. To starboard, there is a very nice washroom with a separate shower stall. There is access via the lounge or directly from the starboard aft cabin. Considerable time was spent on the technical design of the boat to allow easy service access to everything to do with valves or electrical panels. Take, for example, the engine compartment. Here we have the 110 horsepower propeller shaft engine. Look at all the space there is around the engine to perform maintenance. It is an ideal workspace, and there is also the possibility to access the rear of the engine through both aft cabins. The standard version includes an 80 horsepower engine with a sail drive. There is also the option of an 80 horsepower dock and go. Thank you for coming aboard for this visit of the OCEANIS 51.1, the first in the OCEANIS line's 7th generation. Smart, comfort, fast. Come and judge for yourself